Here are 5 things you must know for Friday, October 20th. 1. U.S. stock futures were rising on Friday, October 20th, after the Senate narrowly passed a budget blueprint for the next fiscal year that could lead to $1.5 trillion in tax cuts. Senate lawmakers voted largely along party lines on Thursday, October 19th, to approve a 2018 budget blueprint that not only paves the way for tax cuts but also potentially allows for tax legislation to be passed by a simple Senate majority, giving Republican lawmakers a better chance to enact change without the help of their Democratic rivals. The final vote was 5,149, with Sen. Rand Paul of Kentucky the lone opposing GOP vote. One of Donald Trump's campaign pledges was revamping the tax system. He said Thursday that the budget will be phase 1 of our massive tax cuts and reform. The economic calendar in the U.S. on Friday includes existing home sales for September at 10 a.m. ET, the weekly Baker Hughes rig count at 1 p.m., and a lecture from Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen on monetary policy since the financial crisis at the NEC Herbert Stein Memorial Lecture and annual members dinner in Washington at 7 p.m. The Dow Jones Industrial Average and S&P 500 turned around by the end of Thursday's session, making a remarkable recovery to end at new records with minor gains. The Dow gained 0.02% after being down more than 100 points at its session low. The S&P 500 gained 0.03%. Tech losses on Thursday led to a 0.29% loss for the Nasdaq. If you'd like to receive the free 5 Things You Must Know newsletter, please register here. 2. General Electric Co. GE earned an adjusted 29 cents a share in the third quarter, 20 cents below Wall Street estimates. Revenue at GE in the quarter was $33.47 billion versus forecasts of $32.56 billion. The stock fell 5% in pre-market trading on Friday. GE chief promises 2018 improvements after quarterly earnings miss. There was talk new GE CEO John Flannery could make an announcement on Friday about cutting the dividend at the industrial conglomerate. GE has said publicly that the dividend remains a top priority while conceding it might re-examine planned stock buybacks. Flannery already has promised a thorough evaluation of the company's portfolio, which ranges from medical equipment to jet engines and locomotives, amid pressure from investors including activist Trium Partners to buoy both profitability and cash flow. Procter & Gamble Co. PG posted fiscal first quarter adjusted profit of $1.09 a share, 1 cent above forecasts. Revenue rose 1% to $16.65 billion but just missed forecasts. Shares of PG fell 0.8%. Schlumberger Limited, SLB, also is scheduled to report earnings on Friday. General Electric and Schlumberger are holdings in Jim Cramer's Action Alerts Plus charitable trust portfolio. Want to be alerted before Cramer buys or sells these stocks? Learn more now. 3. Federal Reserve Gov. Jerome Powell is the leading candidate to become the next chair of the central bank after Donald Trump finished meeting with the 5 finalists on Thursday, 3 administration officials said, Politico reported. Trump, who met with Janet Yellen for about half an hour on Thursday, hasn't made a final decision, the officials cautioned. Powell has been heavily favored by Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, who is leading the search for the Fed chair. Trump is expected to make the announcement on the next Fed chief before he travels to Asia on November 3, according to published reports. Trump's 5 finalists for Federal Reserve chief. Pros and cons. 4. Shares of PayPal Holdings Inc. PYPL were rising 3.3% to $69.50 in pre-market trading on Friday and have a chance to open at an all-time high after the company posted stronger than expected third-quarter earnings and lifted its full-year guidance thanks to a surge in mobile payments. PayPal said sales for the 3 months ended in September rose 21% from the same period a year earlier to $3.24 billion, while adjusted earnings in the period were 46 cents a share. Analysts were looking for sales of $3.18 billion and earnings of 43 cents. Total payment volumes, the company said, surged 30% to $114 billion, a figure that also topped the Wall Street consensus of $109 billion. PayPal said it expects revenue for the fourth quarter to come in between $3.57 billion to $3.63 billion, a modestly slower growth rate when compared to the third quarter, translating to an earnings per share rate of between 50 cents and 52 cents a share. The Street's Eric Johnson noted that given the serious challenges it faces from Apple Inc., AAPL and Amazon.com Inc., ANZN, it's hard to overlook the strength of PayPal's brand. PayPal's strong earnings show just how loyal customers are to its platform. Apple is a holding in Jim Cramer's Action Alerts Plus charitable trust portfolio. Want to be alerted before Cramer buys or sells AAPL? Learn more now. 5. Shares of Celgene Corp. CELG were down 5.1% in pre-market trading on Friday after the biotech company said it halted a Phase 3 study of Mongersen, a treatment for Crohn's disease. Updated to include earnings from GE and Procter & Gamble. More of what's trending on the street. Join Jim Cramer, CNBC's John Najarian and other experts October 28 in New York. Jim Cramer will host CNBC's John Najarian, TD Ameritrade's JJ Kinahan, famed analytics expert Mark Chaikin and other market mavens on October 28 in New York City to share successful strategies for active investors. You can join them as they discuss how smart investors can make the most of options trading, futures contracts, fundamental and quantitative analysis, and great ETFs to buy right now. Participants will also get a chance to meet Jim and other panelists and take photos. When Saturday, October 28, 8 a.m. 3 p.m. Where the Harvard Club of New York, 35 West 44th Street, New York, New York, cost $250 per person. Click here for the full conference agenda or to reserve your seat now. The digital payments company is still in the early innings of an accelerated growth story, according to one analyst. Stock futures set up for more records after the Senate voted for a budget blueprint that paves the way for major tax cuts. PayPal continues to be on fire thanks to people transitioning to mobile payment. The company is fresh off a better than expected third quarter, with more signs of strength ahead. They have become the de facto short for high-growth players.